and good evening from the Tully's on the Vestal Parkway location. I am Brooks Hill. Time for another Tully's Good Times with a Coach show. And the Black Bears are on a 3-game win streak. We haven't met in almost 2.5 weeks before the Christmas break, and we transitioned into 2023. On the 3-game win streak, Riley McVeigh recorded his second shutout in his professional career. It's also the second shutout in Black Bears franchise history. And for the first time this season, the Black Bears offense scored hat tricks in back-to-back games thanks to Tyson Kirkby Jesse Anderson and Nikita Ivashkin. So double hat tricks on a great weekend over our rivals from Watertown. Just a quick drive up I-81. Tyler Gjurich was able to extend his point streak to 48 games dating back to last season, and he also tallied the 300th goal in his professional career across the ECHL, SPHL, and the FPHL. So a big congrats to Tyler Gjurich. We're going to talk to him on the tail end of our show tonight, just talking about a retrospective of his career, what made him fall in love with hockey, and everything that he can look forward to the rest of the season. Black Bears are 23 games into the season. That is exactly the halfway point of the 2022 and 23 season. Still got a long way to go, and with playoffs on the rise, we're looking to see how the Black Bears will fare come decision time. And right now, we're also going through a coaching change. We have a new interim head coach. Brant Sherwood is going to join us here just in a few moments as we get ready to go. Head coach Gary Gill has taken a personal leave of absence from the team. We want to wish Coach Gill the best of luck and thoughts and prayers with him during this time as he has decided to take a personal step away from the team. But now I turn to my right, your left on the screen, and I welcome in the Black Bears' new head coach, Brant Sherwood. And Brant, thanks for spending some good times with us here at Tully's on a Tuesday night.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me. Excited to be here at Tully's. Big fan of the restaurant and big fan of the town.
Well, you know, you've spent some time in the FPHL in your playing career, and I know that Tully's are across the state of New York. I'm sure you've been into one or two of them. I was able to check out the Watertown location the other night, so I didn't know that Tully's was just a statue up here in upstate New York, but we're really glad that you could be here. The Black Bears are glad that you are here as well. You are now the interim head coach after a period with the Temple University Owls. Before we get to Temple, I guess we should just probably go all the way back, a Rochester native in your early 30s. And what was your start in hockey?
So I started out at Lakeshore Ice Arena in Rochester, New York, and just saw my sister out there figure skating, and that just got me wanting to get out there. I'm naturally, it's cold up there, and it runs in our family.
Well, growing up in Rochester, you have the Rochester Americans, the AHL affiliate of the Buffalo Sabres right there in town. Did you grow up a Sabres fan, or did you have another favorite NHL team that you were pulling for?
I'm a Sabres fan through and through. Go Swords.
Okay, so before we get to your playing days, what do you think about where the Sabres are right now? I think based on what it's been the last couple of years, and you know, coming from a Carolina Hurricanes fan, I know what it's like to go through playoff drought, and when you get the right group of guys in there, you start to see things turn around. Do you think that that's what's happening right now in Buffalo, or do they still have a ways to go?
I think that's exactly what's happening right now. They're in the up and up, and it seems like they got a great young group. I'm pretty sure most of the team, probably 80% of the team's under 25, so it seems pretty promising. And yeah, a lot of talent, a lot of excitement. They're on a bunch of winning streaks. They got guys scoring goals. Tage Thompson, he's been lighting it up lately. But their back end's starting to clean up, and yeah, it just seems like a young group that's just coming together.
Well, they've been playing some good hockey right now, and Tage Thompson continues to make headlines. Let's go back to a little bit of your playing days, playing some junior hockey here up in New York, Syracuse Stars, Rochester Stars. So you're very familiar with the area. I think that's one of the great reasons of how you can fit into this spot is you personally have a background just like a lot of the players on the Black Bears have in playing hockey in New York.
Yeah, so there's a lot of local guys, and when I say local, I mean just upstate New York, downstate New York. We're all pretty familiar with each other, and I think it creates a similar style as well because we learn from the same coaches and kind of you steal each other's systems, but Rochester, Buffalo, Syracuse, Binghamton, Albany, it's there's a lot of good hockey players around here, so it ends up working out, and we can build some chemistry naturally.
Well, you also went to SUNY Cortland, the Red Dragons, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay, so back in my 2-year stint of coaching high school lacrosse back down in North Carolina, my head coach, coaching partner went to SUNY Cortland, was on the wrestling team there, so I got familiar with the Red Dragons program, everything like that. I was like, oh, like when you go up to Binghamton, like look into their hockey, everything like that. So playing in the SUNYAC, correct,
Yes.
SUNYAC conference, Division III college hockey. We have a couple of SUNYAC players on the Black Bears this year. Just what does the SUNYAC conference mean to, the people of upstate New York and everything that goes into it?
Well, I think it's the best conference in Division III, and they have to compete every night, whether you're playing for Cortland, Morrisville, or you're playing for Geneseo or Plattsburgh. Anyone can win any night, so I like to say I don't play favorites, but I am a little SUNY biased, and I really like the kids that come out of that league because they know how to compete, they know how to battle up the depth chart, and they know it's not going to be easy every night, and they don't take teams lightly.
So after you get done with SUNY Cortland, then we get into the professional career, come into what was then at the time the FHL, now the FPHL, and you play with Berlin. And I believe, if my homework is correct, once upon a time you were playing on the same team as our own Cam Yarwood.
I was. We were up in Berlin, New Hampshire, close to the border. We had to heat our own houses. We were 4 to a room. It's a lot different now. These guys are pretty spoiled being here, and Andreas does a great job taking care of everyone. And with the facility, the fans, it's just completely different from when I started.
Well, Berlin obviously disband, not a team anymore, and then we move on to the SPHL, spend some time down in Mississippi, and eventually, funny enough, we're going to go back to the same building a little bit later on in March this season when we go through the Southern Road Trip. Spent some time in Pensacola as well. Got to play for the Norfolk Admirals, now the affiliate of the Carolina Hurricanes, but at the time, who was Norfolk affiliated with during your stint?
The Phoenix Coyotes, so I always like to tell my buddies back home, the Coyotes took a chance on me.
Okay, well,
whether
there
I was
you go.
in the lineup much or scoring, I like to joke around with my buddies back home about that.
Well, I guess the same could be same about Black Bears captain Jake Schultz, who was on loan this past weekend for the Railers, and then that's the AA affiliate of the New York Islanders in the ECHL. So, I mean, hey, if you got the apparel to prove it, that was the first thing I asked Schultz. Is like, hey, did they give you any gear? And he's like, oh yeah, they loaded me up with T-shirts, shorts, and gitch, everything like that. So, I don't want to say fake it till you make it, but sometimes, if someone's not there to hear the story, you can kind of bend it to your truth.
Exactly. You don't have to tell everyone you played 10th forward or 6th defenseman. You can play it however you want, and as long as you get the gitch, you're on the team, and that's most important. But Jake's a great player. He belongs up in the East Coast, and we're very lucky to have him, and he's a great leader for us. But ultimately, he can play at that level. It's just he really loves playing here. He gets treated well, and he loves playing in front of the crowd. So we're happy to have him. But if he wants to go up, I'm willing to support him.
Just a little tidbit on Jake Schultz during his ECHL, I would say seasonal debut. That's the right word. He spent some time with some other teams. Finished his plus-minus at even. Also did register 2 shots on goal. So a defenseman who plays even on the night, he only got 3 pairings out there, so I'd say it's pretty good with me, and not afraid to throw the puck to the net. Sometimes you get guys who get into a call-up situation and they're maybe a little tentative to put it on goal, or afraid to maybe make too many passes. But Schultz shooting the puck a little bit, showing up in the stat sheet, all you can ask for a guy when you're only going to really be up there for a short amount of time. But hopefully Jake will get another call-up later on this season. But we're certainly glad he's still here with the Black Bears this year, has 3 goals, and has been a big power play asset as well, running from the top of the umbrella as the lone defenseman on some of the units. Now, after the Norfolk Admirals, We go to Roanoke, Virginia. A lot of people don't know that Roanoke, Virginia hosts a hockey team. They host a pretty good one in the SPHL. The Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs. One of my best friends from college used to go to their games all the time and was always asking, like, oh, like, is this in the same league? I said, no, like, they're competitors, but, like, we have a lot of guys who played in Roanoke together, and you also have some playing experience with guys overlapping with the Black Bears, correct?
That's correct. So Jake Schultz, I played with him in Mississippi, and then I also played with him in Roanoke. Jesse Anderson as well. He was in Roanoke with me, and it's nice to see familiar faces and kind of recognize similar systems because I learned a lot from Dan Bremner down there and the McGinns. So I try to implement that here as much as I can.
Well, you also were able to be selected as an alternate captain as well. What does it mean to have a letter sewn into your jersey?
It means everything. It means the coaching staff trusts you, the players around you believe in you, and it's mostly just leading by example. Though like the letter shouldn't mean too much. You should be a leader naturally, and whether you have one on or not, it doesn't really matter. Everyone can lead by example and do it themselves.
So after Roanoke, we're transitioned into the coaching aspect of your still young career, only 31 years of age, and served on the bench with the Columbus River Dragons for a little bit, and then also the Temple University Owls, not too far down south from us in Philadelphia, one of the Big Four schools up in Philly. What was it like coaching college hockey compared to coaching professional hockey?
It's much different. You kind of get down to the basic habits when it comes to college, especially ACHA. A lot of those kids are just there for school. They're not necessarily taking hockey too seriously. There are some ACHA teams that do take it very serious. They have great locker rooms, but most of the guys I had there, they're there for school. They're there to have fun, and hockey kind of took a backseat. You only practice twice a week, and then a couple games on the weekends, but you're mostly there to have fun. You're not taking it too serious, where here it's a job, it's a craft, so you're working on it every day.
Well, the Black Bears are certainly glad to have you here, and we're going to take a quick timeout, come back. Coach Sherwood still be up on the show. We're going to talk about this past weekend's games against Watertown, one on the road and one inside Vision Veterans Memorial Arena. So don't go anywhere, folks. The Tully's Good Times with Coach Show will return after these quick few messages. Fans, you asked for it and you got it. 2-for-1 beer night at our next home game, Friday, January 6th at 7 p.m. Come early for 2 beers at the price of 1. Special runs through the end of the first period. This Friday and Saturday, the Black Bears take on the Port Huron Prowlers. Friday night is Mascot Mania, and Saturday, bobblehead giveaway presented by our friends at IBM. Get your tickets now at binghamtonblackbears.com or call the office 607-722-7367.
It is not too late to get season tickets for this season. Prorated season tickets are on sale now, along with single game tickets and group tickets. Call the front office for more details or visit binghamtonblackbears.com.
Black Bear fans, it's now time for the Bricks Barber Company Clip of the Week. Hodgepodge, a power play committed by Hopkins on the backdoor for Gjurich. He scores! Goal number 300 for Tyler Gjurich. And here comes the entire team. 300 professional goals for Tyler Gjurich.
Brooks, Tyler Gjurich saw that goal all the way. It's just such an impressive goal for your 300th goal. A very heady play from a longtime veteran.
Bricks Barber Company located in the number 5 Commons at 41 South Washington Street right here in downtown Binghamton. Give them a visit today. Into the slot, and Kirby scores on the one-timer. You do not want to miss 1 minute of Binghamton Black Bear action this upcoming season. With individual game tickets as low as $10 and outstanding group rates, there is no reason to wait to get your tickets to book your group. Call 607-722-7367 or check us out online at binghamtonblackbears.com. Fans, you asked for it and you got it. 2-for-1 beer night at our next home game, Friday, January 6th at 7 p.m. Come early for 2 beers at the price of 1. Special runs through the end of the first period. This Friday and Saturday, the Black Bears take on the Port Huron Prowlers. Friday night is Mascot Mania, and Saturday, bobblehead giveaway presented by our friends at IBM. Get your tickets now at binghamtonblackbears.com or call the office 607-722-7367.
It is not too late to get season tickets for this season. Prorated season tickets are on sale now, along with single game tickets and group tickets. Call the front office for more details or visit binghamtonblackbears.com.
Black Bear fans, it's now time for the Bricks Barber Company Clip of the Week.
Hodgepodge and power play from inside Hopkins on the back door for Gjurich. He scores! Goal number 300 for Tyler Gjurich. And here comes the entire team. 300 professional goals for Tyler Gjurich.
Brooks, Tyler Gjurich saw that goal all the way. It's just such an impressive goal for your 300th goal. A very heady play from a longtime veteran.
Bricks Barber Company located in the number 5 Commons at 41 South Washington Street right here in downtown Binghamton. Give them a visit today.
Into the slot, and Kirby scores on the one-timer.
You do not want to miss 1 minute of Binghamton Black Bear action this upcoming season. With individual game tickets as low as $10 and outstanding group rates, there is no reason to wait to get your tickets to book your group. Call 607-722-7367 or check us out online at binghamtonblackbears.com. Welcome back into the Tully's Good Times with Coach Show. I'm Brooks Hill, joined by Black Bears interim head coach Brant Sherwood. And Coach Brant, first 2 games in the book, behind the bench, and let's talk about how the practice week went. So, get named the interim head coach, and the guys are also coming back from Christmas break, and not due to some of their control. Flights get delayed, canceled, postponed, everything like that. So the first couple of days, you don't really have the full squad, and in fact, still not every single person on the roster is still in town. So a little bit on the short end the first couple of days of practice, but what was that like?
It was a quick turnaround. So, packing up the car, getting up there, and then practice on Wednesday. It happened pretty fast. But all I wanted to do to get the holiday food out of the system and get these boys moving, get some high energy, get some confidence going. And I think that's exactly what this group needed, is just to know that I believe in this crew, and we have a good team. And moving forward, I think we have a legit chance to win the championship.
I think confidence does a lot for any athlete across any sport. Just knowing that you have people who believe in you, that you can get the job done, whether it be coaching staff, your fellow teammates, fans, parents, family, girlfriends, anything like that. Just, I think people undermine sometimes how much just shown confidence can be for some people. So we finally get to game night. It's Friday night in Watertown. We're loading up the bus, getting ready to go, coaching your first game for the Black Bears. What are you thinking about on the way up to Watertown on the bus?
Well, first things first, I recognized our bus driver because he was our bus driver in junior. So it was a little reunion, so I was happy to see a familiar face. And, I was happy about the short trip, to be honest, because in the leagues I've played in, it's 8-hour, 10-hour trips. So it was like being back in the Suniac.
Yeah, well, it's good. Shout out to Drock real quick over there. Drock's always a good time on the bus, taking care of the Black Bears to and from all of our away games so far this season. And game starts, Black Bears get up 1-0 thanks to Gavin Yates on an unassisted goal in the first period. Took it away in the offensive zone and a quick move to the forehand, backhand, and was able to, I believe, push the puck between the wickets of the goaltender. Myself and my partner Alex Jones were located on the opposite side of the ice on the stairwell, so a little bit hard to make out the numbers at some point. The Black Bears wearing their traditional home jerseys on that night, as it was a reverse color night for Watertown. And as the game went along, you could tell that the chippiness was picking up, but that's what happens when you have a rivalry like Watertown and Binghamton did last year. Watertown going on to win the Commissioner's Cup, Binghamton, trying to give them a run for their money every single time. And last year it was Watertown who was getting the better of Binghamton, but so far this year it's been Binghamton getting on the other side of the score sheet and ending up in the win column. And we don't want to jump the gun onto Saturday night's game at home just quite yet, but Jesse Anderson, former teammate, now one of your players, scores his first ever professional hat trick. The offense was really clicking, and you guys did an excellent job on the penalty kill that night, shutting down the entire power play offense from Watertown. And just, we talked about it before the guys got out there, but one thing that you were looking for was discipline, structure, effort, all that kind of stuff. What were you most proud of for for Friday night's win on the road?
First and foremost, Riley just stepping up in that. I think he made a ton of grade A saves, and he bailed us out a ton. And then secondly, I would say our PK for not working on it. They stepped up to the plate. They're blocking shots. MJ and Coachman, they probably registered 5 block shots each, and that 7-minute PK, the boys came together, and that kind of determined the game because it could have completely went another way with that much time on the clock.
Yeah, when 7 minutes got up on the board, I remember talking about it on the broadcast to be like, hey, this is still somewhat in reach, even though I believe at the time the Black Bears were up by 4. But with a goaltender's confidence. But Riley McVeigh withstood all the tests, stopped all 38 shots that he saw on the road in Watertown. So hats off to Riley. He was the first star of the game. Not too many times you see somebody finish a game with a hat trick and end up as the second star. But it happened for Jesse Anderson. Austin Thompson picking up the third star with 2 assists on the last 2 Jesse Anderson goals. One thing that I thought was peculiar is, the Black Bears were in control of that game, I would really say, from the second period on. Watertown had some life at the end of the first period with a power play, but Riley did a good job stopping all those shots. All 6 goals for the Black Bears come at even strength on Friday night. And even though you don't score on the power play, given a ton of chances, I guess the 5-on-5 hockey was really what dictated the outcome of the game.
Well, our team, we're really good off scoring on the rush. So that was the first thing I noticed is, whenever we do get an opportunity to score and we have an odd man rush, we have a pretty good chance at it. So I was very proud to see that. But we did get peppered in shots. And going forward, we need to sustain some ozone time and kind of rag it down low, go low to high, and have a net front presence. But the ability to score off the rush, score off 2-on-1s, 3-on-2s, that was pretty impressive, and you can see the talent and skill with this group. And going forward, I'm gonna be expecting that.
I think the game really turned on its head after the Black Bears killed off the Austin Thompson penalty. And Thompson comes out of the box. Guy doesn't know he's coming, and Thompson lays the check on him, gets the takeaway, or forces the takeaway for Ivashkin and Anderson to essentially go down on a 2-on-0. Ivashkin makes the unselfish play, makes the pass back to Anderson, and Anderson opens up the goaltender and puts it in the 5-fold to give the Black Bears a 2-0 lead at the time after, you kind of thought maybe Watertown was about to tie the game up at 1 on the power play. But one coaching change that I've already noticed, and in Game 1, I said it on the broadcast, I'll say it again here for everybody at Tully's, Nikita Ivashkin on the penalty kill. Talk about what went into that decision.
First of all, his skating is second to none. He's great on his edges. He can catch an angle on the PK forecheck, and he's hard on the puck. So when I saw this kid in practice, I was like, he can handle pucks. He's feisty along the walls, and most importantly, you need speed on the PK to take away time and space. I kind of thought it was a no-brainer. I got couple raised eyebrows about it, but I love him on the PK, and I trust him, and he does a great job. So kudos to Nikita. He's a team player, and I know maybe Russian guys tend to be a little more skilled and offensive, and they're geared towards that. That kid can play defense, and he can play very well.
Yeah, and one thing that people have told me A difference in Nikita's game from last year to this year is he's upped his physicality. He's throwing more checks, can essentially bounce off of checks more. That was a big thing last year, as people just started targeting Nikita, try to get him off his game. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But this year he's really standing up for himself, not waiting for an enforcer to come and do the work for him. And you got to love the grit and tenacity from the guy. And also, as we saw on Saturday night, we're transitioned to the home game. He can put the puck in the back of the net almost at will. And like you said, he flies up and down the ice. He can really play a 200-foot game. So let's go into Saturday night. It's New Year's Eve. Black Bears wearing the 50th anniversary jerseys commemorating all of the teams that have come through Binghamton so far in the first 50 years of Binghamton hockey. We'll see what the future holds for the next 50. But what was your initial reaction to just, getting onto the bench, looking up, and then, you're in a packed house, over 4,000 people for your first home game as interim head coach?
Well, I heard all about it, and then once you get out there, the energy in the building, it just felt different. It was quite the experience, and I was just very surprised to see that many fans and how loud it was, and everyone's wearing green, and it's the best crowd in the league by far, and possibly the best crowd in single A hockey.
Well, the Black Bears currently leading the FPHL in attendance by a mile. Hopefully we can continue that trend. Black Bears have 2 home games coming up this Friday and Saturday against the Port Huron Prowlers, both games at 7 p.m. Friday night, Mascot Mania, so a great night to bring all the kids out, plenty of mascots around to take pictures. I may or may not have been told that the mascots might be taking on a local youth hockey team, so we'll find out which mascot has the skating ability and also has some speed and maybe not afraid to go to the greasy spots on the rink. And then Saturday night, it's bobblehead night. If you want a Bingo the Black Bear mascot bobblehead, thanks to our friends at IBM, we have bobbleheads for the first 1,000 fans through the door. So head over to binghamtonblackbears.com or call the office at 607-722-7367 and get your tickets now. Reserve tickets ahead of time, so that way you can pick out your seats, and then we don't have to move you when it comes to game day. That's neither here nor there, but back to the game. Black Bears score on the power play bright and early in Game 2 of the weekend set. Tyson Kirkby cashes in on the rebound. And how important is it getting a first goal in a hockey game?
So important. It kind of sets a tone, and it gets the energy up in the building. And more importantly, we got it on the power play. We didn't get any power play goals Friday night, so we started funneling pucks towards the net, and Kirkby scooped up one and buried it home, and that kind of got the boys rolling. So it's huge getting the first one, and especially if we can get it early, then, like I said, it just sets the tone.
And Kyle Powell would go on to score his first goal of the season. A direct quote from Kyle Powell is, "I only score goals in big games, so I save them for important ones." That's from number 27, Kyle Powell. You can print that at home. Gets his first of the season, following up a Nikita Ivashkin rebound. Some people say that Powell stole it from Ivashkin, just beat him to it, just finally willing to put it in the back of the net. Won't say who it was, but let's just say that Black Bears fans might be all a little familiar with that young man. Fast forward a little bit on now. We're in the second period, and Tyler Gjurich scores on the power play off a centering pass from Ivashkin on the back door. It's goal number 300 in his professional career, and you really love to see the entire bench just go off onto the ice and celebrate with Tyler with such a big milestone, and the crowd really dug in and gave him a well-deserving salute at the time.
Yes, big time, and well-deserved. Like, I've played against G for quite some time, and I recognize his talent, and I know what type of stick he has. He can bury the puck at will. He just he needs the opportunity, and he needs to get the puck. And Nikita, man, like just working it down low, passing it back door, that was huge. And it was a team goal, but what a individual like memory, accomplishment, and it's definitely something to tip your cap to, because getting 300 goals ain't easy.
No, by any means. 300 goals across any league, across multiple leagues, anything is such a big accomplishment. It was really neat to see the videos from our equipment staff in the locker room after the game. If you haven't, head over to all the Black Bears social media. I'm sure you can find it. It's at the top of almost every single one. Just the guys celebrating with, the Gatorade and water bath as soon as he comes into the locker room after talking with the media and signing some pucks for some fans, everything like that. So it just really shows how good and tight the guys are, camaraderie. And like we talked about, some stories getting swept under the rug. Nikita Ivashkin scoring a hat trick, kind of almost sat on the back burner of the night with such a big milestone for Tyler Gjurich. Ivashkin, the second star of the game. So 2 nights in a row, Black Bears score a hat trick, and the hat trick scorer is the second star. Just a little funny tidbit for everybody keeping up at home. And now, Coach, and we transition to this upcoming weekend, 2 home games. What's the biggest thing that you guys are going to talk about this week before heading into a weekend set against Port Huron?
Just playing as a 5-man unit, being on the same page in the D zone, O zone, working all together. Whether you're defenseman, forward, you just enter the zones 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and you're a 5-man unit. You stick together, you communicate, and we're just trying to pick up on each other's tendencies and what I expect from them in those zones. But for the most part, it's just being close support and getting up the ice together and working as a unit and kind of not playing that men's league style that Port Huron plays, a little run and gun, hanging guys, and being very risky. I like to be a little bit more on the safe side and then play defense, and then I think that'll just transition to offense a lot easier.
And that's the voice of Black Bears interim head coach Brant Sherwood. And Coach Sherwood, thank you so much for spending some time with us. We really appreciate it, and hopefully that wasn't too bad for your first time here on the Tully's Good Times with Coach show.
That was easy. I'll be back next week.
All right, so that's a friendly reminder. Next week's Coach's Show, we're doubling up 2 shows in a row. Next Tuesday, 6 p.m., same time, same spot. Don't go anywhere, folks. We got Taylor Cutting and Tyler Gjurich coming up, joining the show after these messages. Don't go anywhere, folks. You are listening to the Tully's Good Times with Coach show. Our next home game, Friday, January 6th at 7 p.m. Come early for 2 beers at the price of 1. Special runs through the end of the first period. This Friday and Saturday, the Black Bears take on the Port Huron Prowlers. Friday night is Mascot Mania, and Saturday, bobblehead giveaway presented by our friends at IBM. Get your tickets now at binghamtonblackbears.com or call the office 607-722-7367.
It is not too late to get season tickets for this season. Prorated season tickets are on sale now, along with single game tickets and group tickets. Call the front office for more details or visit binghamtonblackbears.com.
Black Bear fans, it's now time for the Bricks Barber Company Clip of the Week.
Hodgepodge, a power play committed by Hopkins on the back door for Gjurich. He scores! Goal number 300 for Tyler Gjurich. And here comes the entire team. 300 professional goals for Tyler Gjurich.
Brooks, Tyler Gjurich saw that goal all the way. It's just such an impressive goal for your 300th goal. A very heady play from a longtime veteran.
Bricks Barber Company located in the number 5 Commons at 41 South Washington Street right here in downtown Binghamton. Give them a visit today.
Into the slot, and Kirby scores on the one-timer.
You do not want to miss 1 minute of Binghamton Black Bear action this upcoming season. With individual game tickets as low as $10 and outstanding group rates, there is no reason to wait to get your tickets to book your group. Call 607-722-7367 or check us out online at binghamtonblackbears.com. Fans, you asked for it and you got it. 2-for-1 beer night at our next home game, Friday, January 6th at 7 p.m. Come early for 2 beers at the price of 1. Special runs through the end of the first period. This Friday and Saturday, the Black Bears take on the Port Huron Prowlers. Friday night is Mascot Mania, and Saturday, bobblehead giveaway presented by our friends at IBM. Get your tickets now at binghamtonblackbears.com or call the office 607-722-7367.
It is not too late to get season tickets for this season. Prorated season tickets are on sale now, along with single game tickets and group tickets. Call the front office for more details or visit binghamtonblackbears.com.
Black Bear fans, it's now time for the Bricks Barber Company Clip of the Week.
Hodgepodge and power play from inside Hopkins on the back door for Gjurich. He scores! Goal number 300 for Tyler Gjurich. And here comes the entire team. 300 professional goals for Tyler Gjurich.
Brooks, Tyler Gjurich saw that goal all the way. It's just such an impressive goal for your 300th goal. A very heady play from a longtime veteran.
Bricks Barber Company located in the number 5 Commons at 41 South Washington Street right here in downtown Binghamton. Give them a visit today.
Into the slot, and Kirby scores on the one-timer.
You do not want to miss 1 minute of Binghamton Black Bear action this upcoming season. With individual game tickets as low as $10 and outstanding group rates, there is no reason to wait to get your tickets to book your group. Call 607-722-7367 or check us out online at binghamtonblackbears.com. Welcome back into the Tully's Good Times with Coach Show. Brooks Hill now joined by Black Bears defenseman Taylor Cutting. And Taylor, thanks for spending some time on Tuesday night and sharing it with us here at Tully's.
Yeah, no problem, Brooksy.
Oh, well, we definitely appreciate you. You know, you're one of the tough guys here on the team for the Black Bears. And coming from Royersford, Pennsylvania, is that how you say it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so not too far away, just to our neighbors from the south in the Empire State growing up. Playing hockey. When did you get your start in hockey? That's typically what I want to ask all the Black Bears players.
So I first started playing hockey when I was 12 years old.
Okay, so a little bit of a late. I was talking to Coach Sherwood a little bit before the show started, and he talked about, he knows guys who started like late and they're like at 13, 12, everything like that. Some of these guys that we've had on earlier was like, I was skating when I was 2. And before I could remember, I was already on skates and playing hockey at 4, everything like that. So, is that when you fell in love with hockey? Was 12?
Yeah, it was kind of more like my mom gave me a choice. She said either play hockey or play football, and hockey was a new sport to me, and I liked it when I was first started skating, and I just decided to give it a shot, and I fell in love with it.
Well, I think there's some similarities between football and hockey. The physicality is definitely there. I would definitely say you could probably still play tight end today if you really wanted to, or maybe outside linebacker. I think would be a little bit more fitting for you. But you joined the team, or the Black Bears, being a little bit later this season than most of the squad here in Binghamton. You and Justin Coachman signed particularly really close to each other, I believe, on the same day. Added to the roster, I believe, at the beginning of December. And let's talk about is what was your real intro into Binghamton and this club? Like, did you know a whole lot going out ahead of time, or was it like, oh, hey, like I have my eye on Binghamton. Like, if I get the opportunity, I'm going to go there, or was it like, oh, hey, like these guys called me, and I'm going to go be a part of this team?
So when I first started playing hockey, obviously I started playing out of Binghamton, and one of my games that I played out of was out of the arena.
Okay.
So just kind of like growing up, I was like, man, I really want to play here one day, and it kind of just fell in my lap, and I just took the opportunity. So,
well, it's kind of unique how sports can go full circle for some people, and you playing youth hockey inside Vision Veterans Memorial Arena, and now getting paid to play in there as a professional hockey player is just something that's really unique. Not everybody gets to have a story like that, so I know that's probably near and dear to your heart. This year we've seen you play defense and forward. Is there a position that you like the most on the ice, or is it just whatever the coaching staff asks of you?
It's just kind of more whatever the coaching staff feels like. Yeah, really, just whatever the coaching staff feels like. I just want to play hockey.
Well, you seem to be really slotting into a particular role here with the Black Bears. You stand up for your teammates. We talked about it with Coach Sherwood about, not every guy on the team can wear a letter on their sweater, but one thing that can show leadership is guys standing up for their teammates. Whether you have clean hits, you have dirty hits, people picking on rookies, anything like that. One thing that myself and Alex have quickly pointed out is, it always seems that you're the first guy to answer the call when the bell's rung, and every team needs somebody like that, and you've fitted that role pretty well for the Black Bears. And we saw you score your first goal of the season in between the last good times with Coach Show that we had here, but I know that you like the physicality of your play, but what was it like just seeing the puck go in the back of the net for the first time this season at home?
I wasn't expecting it, to be completely honest. Just kind of stood in front of the net, and the puck just popped out and kind of got on top of it and put it in the back of the net. Doesn't happen often, but when it does, it's pretty fun.
Well, yeah, they say you throw the puck to the net, good things will happen. And sometimes if you just go to the net, you'll get lucky, and, you might tap in a Ivashkin wrist shot or an Anderson slap shot from the wing, anything like that. The good thing about hockey, it's like golf. There's no pictures on the scorecard. There's only a live stream that has the replay of actually how it happened. So if you want to see Taylor's goal, just go back to the Black Bears YouTube page. It's archived. Just go back to previous games, and you'll be able to find it. Taylor's first goal of the season, and I'm sure there are many more to come. Last year, you played with the Macon Mayhem in the SPHL. And talk about the transition from the SPHL to the FPHL for maybe some of our fans who aren't familiar with that league, and what really are the differences.
Just the differences is the speed. It's just quicker. The passes are there. There's more fans in the building. Just the play of hockey is quicker.
Okay, well, you've shown that you can play at the FPHL level, the SPHL level. You can control the tempo, really, of either game or either league that you've played in so far. And we talked about it with Coach Sherwood. I saw you out there at practice hustling today in the black defensive jersey. You guys working on some 2-on-1s, shooting for some rebounds in your rushes. You guys looked like you were getting a good sweat in there with the workout. What is the main thing that you guys have been working on this week in practice? Or at least, so what is the one focus so far? I know you really only had like one day of practice.
I would say the main thing that we've been going over in practice is just moving. Once you get the puck, move. You don't have the puck, move. Be an outlet pass, just be a person that's open. So we really been working on moving with the puck and possession with the puck, just controlling the puck in our zone, in the offensive zone and the defensive zone, just being over the puck.
Well, it's good that you guys are, still advantageous. You know that where you are is not where you want to end up. Currently, the Black Bears are in second place, only behind the Danbury Hat-Tricks in the Empire Division. Danbury does not have any more games in hand. That is the good news for the Black Bears. A couple of games are being postponed for Binghamton. We're getting more on that makeup game from December 23rd a little bit later on in the season. It's going to come in March, so we'll tell you about it as we approach a little bit later on in the broadcast. But you guys seem to be, starting to hit a stride here. 3 wins in a row. Got Port Huron coming in for 2 home games this weekend. And you were not part of the squad last time that the 2 teams faced off up in Michigan. So what's one thing that you're looking forward to the most when you guys take on Port Huron this weekend?
I'm just looking forward to playing hockey again. Obviously, I'm coming off a 2-game suspension. It's pretty tough, but I'm just looking forward to getting back and playing my role and helping the team win.
And it seems like you're kind of chomping at the bit a little bit to, get back in the lineup.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, well, that is the voice of Black Bears defenseman Taylor Cutting. Taylor, thank you for hanging out with us and spending some time. Absolutely. We have one more final guest. It's Tyler Gjurich, Mr. 300 himself, coming up after these messages. Don't go anywhere. We're about to wrap up the Tully's Good Times with Coach show. 2-for-1 beer night at our next home game, Friday, January 6th at 7 p.m. Come early for 2 beers at the price of 1. Special runs through the end of the first period. This Friday and Saturday, the Black Bears take on the Port Huron Prowlers. Friday night is Mascot Mania, and Saturday, bobblehead giveaway presented by our friends at IBM. Get your tickets now at binghamtonblackbears.com or call the office 607-722-7367.
It is not too late to get season tickets for this season. Prorated season tickets are on sale now, along with single game tickets and group tickets. Call the front office for more details or visit binghamtonblackbears.com.
Black Bear fans, it's now time for the Bricks Barber Company Clip of the Week.
Hodgepodge, a power play committed by Hopkins on the backdoor for Gjurich. He scores! Goal number 300 for Tyler Gjurich. And here comes the entire team. 300 professional goals for Tyler Gjurich.
Brooks, Tyler Gjurich saw that goal all the way. It's just such an impressive goal for your 300th goal. A very heady play from a longtime veteran.
Bricks Barber Company located in the number 5 Commons at 41 South Washington Street right here in downtown Binghamton. Give them a visit today.
Into the slot, and Kirby scores on the one-timer.
You do not want to miss 1 minute of Binghamton Black Bear action this upcoming season. With individual game tickets as low as $10 and outstanding group rates, there is no reason to wait to get your tickets to book your group. Call 607-722-7367 or check us out online at binghamtonblackbears.com. Mr. 300, Tyler Gjurich. Tyler, thanks for spending some time out of your very busy schedule and setting it aside for us here at Tully's after such a big milestone and momentous occasion.
Thanks for having me, Brooksy.
Well, we have to add you into the Two-Timers Club here at the Tully's Good Time Show. We talked to you at the very beginning of the year, and what a better time than now at the halfway point of the season after you scored your 300th career goal in professional hockey. Before we get to the goal, let's just talk about where the team is. We're exactly halfway through the regular season, still halfway to go with 23 more games, and then who knows how many playoff games there will be this year for the Black Bears. What has stood out to you the most so far through the first 23 games?
I would definitely say our talent level. We're obviously a very talented team. We just got to put everything together, and like the way we played this weekend is a perfect example, so we just got to be consistent the rest of the year.
Okay, and on the opposite side of that, what's the one thing that you guys want to improve on the most for the final 23 games of the set?
I'd probably say have a little bit of faster starts, but I think consistency will be the biggest thing for us, just every game play the same way.
Well, consistency has been the name of the game for the Black Bears. A 3-game win streak right now currently. And last time they lost, it was on the 16th against the Watertown Wolves at home. That was a 5-2 game. You know, you scored your 300th professional goal. You also extended your point streak to 48 straight games, dating back to last season that ended against the Watertown Wolves last time. And now we're going back and facing off against Port Huron. But before we get to Port Huron, let's talk about the power play goal that got you to the 300 mark. And we were joking about it a little bit off air. Some people say you chose not to get off the ice. Some people said you couldn't get off because the puck was in play. He's like, oh, like, you know, you're on the far side of the ice. You get set up on a pass, a beautiful pass from Nikita Ivashkin across the crease, and you beat your former teammate Owen Liskowitz with a tap-in on the back door for goal number 300. Just what does that goal and getting to that point mean for you and your career?
I mean, it's awesome. I've obviously played with a lot of good players that helped me along the way. I was pressing a little bit to get the 300th goal, but I just, you know, tried to block all that out, and Nikita gave me a great pass, and it was a lot of fun. It was awesome.
Okay, now, serious question. Can you confirm or deny that you purposely did not shoot the puck in Watertown the night before to not get the milestone on the road?
I would never do anything like that, but I'm glad it worked out where I did it at home in front of, what do we have, 4,400 people.
Well, you know, it was a great crowd, 4,000 people on Saturday. You got to witness history. And did you know that the whole team was going to come over when you scored, or was that a surprise? Like, you turn around after the celebration. I saw you almost kind of take a sigh of relief that you finally got it. And next thing you knew, it was almost like a dog pile over on the boards in front of the penalty box side.
I had a couple guys ask me, well, you want us to come out? And I said no. But obviously, I mean, that's awesome. That made it a lot of fun. I appreciate all of them. It's an awesome team to be around.
Well, it was a great moment to just be present, and I'm lucky that you let me be a part of that moment. It was great talking about you, you know, coming through your youth career, your juniors, up and down in the minors, your ECHL days here, and, you know, you really made a name for yourself, top 2 in scoring last year across the entire league, and a real big milestone that you accomplished. And honestly, probably my favorite videos of the night didn't even occur on the ice. It was the locker room celebration when you came in. You know, thanks to the equipment staff for taking the video once again, and just the complete, you know, Gatorade bath. As soon as you walk in, not a water bottle in sight made it through that night. And then you guys singing along in the locker room stalls, you know, swaying back and forth, everything like that. That's truly what I think, like, when you think of team, that's what I'm going to picture in my head for, you know, the coming weeks here in Binghamton. But just how big was it celebrating in the locker room like that, even though you guys already won the game? You know, you got the 3 points, regulation win, and then you still get to have that little celebration afterwards.
Well, I would say we always look forward to winning because we could do our little song in the locker room like we did. Obviously, the water bath I got was too cold for me, but it was fun. It was just way too much water. Maybe something else next time, lukewarm.
Yeah, it looked like your jersey was absolutely soaked after that one.
Yeah, equipment's still wet today after 3 days off. So.
Okay, well that's good. Hopefully you don't, you know, get a rash.
No,
anything like that, and you know, just got to keep airing out, putting it in front of some dry fans. Now 300 has passed. We're on to the next milestone, and it's going to be trying to chase down the all-time goals leader in the FPHL. That's on the radar, one game at a time. It's not going to happen in one night. If it did, I might quit. But along the way, it also means that the Black Bears are probably going to win more games. So we talked about consistency being one of the things that you want the Black Bears to work on. And we talked to Coach Sherwood earlier tonight, with going through a personnel change behind the bench, people getting more opportunities. Ivashkin on the penalty kill, for example. We're seeing some different guys on the power play, maybe just trying some things out, almost like we're back to square one. But you guys have a pretty big cushion over the third-place team right now in Watertown. Yeah. How do you envision the next 23 games going for Binghamton?
I see it going very positive for us. We have a lot of guys who've gained a lot of confidence in the last couple days. Sherzy's been a great addition for us, just a calming influence to players. Just looks like everybody's kind of rejuvenated in a way. As long as we play our game and play hard and stay together and play as a team, we're going to win a lot of games.
All right. Well, Tyler, I couldn't have said it better myself. You're one of the leaders on and off the ice for this squad. I think everybody thinks very highly of you, not only down in the locker room, but of course on the Black Bear staff as well, always being polite, coming up, saying hi. All those kind of things goes a long way, not only in the game of hockey, but also in the game of life. So, Tyler, congratulations on 300. Cheers to 300 more.
Thank you.
Yeah, 300 more.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
That's fine. All right.
Okay, all right. Here to hear first. 300 more goals coming from Tyler Gjurich. We want to thank you, everybody, for tuning in tonight on YouTube, joining us here inside Tully's. We'll be back again next week, Tuesday at 6 p.m. for the next edition of the Tully's Good Times with Coach Show. For Josh Williams on the ones and twos, the teardown and setup crew, I'm Brooks Hill. Everybody at the Binghamton Black Bears, have a good one, everybody. We'll talk to you again on Friday night for Black Bears versus the Port Huron Prowlers at 7 p.m.